to work in the field of lighting, we have to also take into account the spectrum sensitivity not only of a human but also of other species that we affect by our light during the night. So I would repeat, if you have any question, please type them in the Slido, and we will move to the last but not least presentation of Mrs. Simona Tondelli, who will represent a project ENLIGHTENme. Simona Tondelli is a professor of urban and regional planning in the Department of Architecture, University of Bologna, and she's the director of Organizational Unit and vice director of Interdepartmental Center for Applied Research on Buildings and Construction. And he has many years of experiences. So Simona, the floor is yours. Thank you for taking the time.
Thank you very much. Thank you for this invitation to this very interesting workshop. I'm going to present this Horizon 2020 project, which is called ENLIGHTENme, Innovative Policies for Improving Citizens' Health and Well-being, Addressing Indoor and Outdoor Lighting, which just started. We are at the beginning of our long adventure. So we started in March. The project will last 4 years. It has been funded for 5 million euro, and we are 22 partners from 9 EU countries, plus 1 partner from the United States of America. We work on lighting. The question why is a bit unuseful now, because we have listened how many issues are linked with artificial lighting. In particular, we work our focus is about individuals' health and well-being, and we focus on older adults, so people with more than 65 years. So it has already been discussed how artificial light influences circadian rhythms and changes a lot of characteristics of our health, but also we work on well-being, on the quality of our social life, social interaction, which is also affected by light, and also on our sense of safety and security. For doing this, we have set a very interdisciplinary project dealing with aspects linked with the market uptake of innovative solutions, with the building of new skills, with also awareness raising in citizens. Our main goal is to provide tools to support the decision-making process into taking into account considerations about health and well-being, and while adopting lighting policies. So we have started from collecting, reviewing already existing knowledge and evidence on indoor and outdoor lighting impacts. And we will develop new knowledge thanks to the establishment of some innovations in 3 cities. And we will co-design lighting policies with citizens, with local stakeholders, to provide the policymakers with new solutions and ideas. The consortium, as I was saying, is made by 22 partners. The University of Bologna is the coordinator. I'm from the Department of Architecture. I'm an engineer and urban planner, but the project is co-coordinated also by a colleague, which is a neurologist, just to explain you how interdisciplinary this project is. So we deal with urban policies, we deal with social aspects, we deal with mental and physical health of people. Then we have 3 cities, Amsterdam, Bologna, and Tartu, that participate both with the local government that will be involved in defining new policies, but also with their university hospital, because we will develop some population-based study. We have technical partners, both for what concerns health issues, social issues, technical aspects, also ethical aspects. We have 2 companies, Lumi providing indoor lighting systems and Neri providing outdoor lighting installations. And we have a range of networks and associations that will help us in disseminating our results and also to collect feedbacks on what we are doing. So this is the main concept of the project. People are at the center of our interest. We will check how artificial light influences social interaction, but also safety and security, how urban fabric, how indoor and outdoor lighting influence the well-being and also the health of people by influencing circadian rhythms, and therefore neurodegenerative diseases, cancer, and also mental illness. We will tackle urban policies, but also technologies and the market. We will work with experts, but also with citizens to co-create solutions and also to raise awareness about the impacts of lighting on health and well-being. To do this, we will work among our consortium, but also we will engage some experts in a scientific advisory board. But also we would like to engage companies, so designers, producers, and managers, and discuss with them the solutions that we are going to develop, and also put them in contact with the cities. So we have a second board of cities, policymakers, city mayors, urban planners that will be invited to discuss with us our solution, and also to discuss with the companies about the need to find a common point of agreement between the supply and demand side in lighting. So the first phase that we just started is the knowledge building phase of the project. We are developing a GIS-based platform for representing existing and new knowledge about the impact of light, of innovative lighting interventions on people's health and well-being. So first of all, we are building a common operational language, because we have understood that it is difficult to understand each other when we come from such different backgrounds. And then we are now going to collect existing evidence and good practices on urban lighting, and considering the effects on health and well-being. And then we will deepen the knowledge, considering our 3 pilot cities. So first of all, we are representing in a general atlas the existing and new evidence that we are going to produce. And then we are starting to collect the data from our cities to represent urban lighting and health maps. So we are putting together data from different sources, socioeconomic data, urban fabric and urban characteristic data, data about lighting from satellite, from on-site surveys, and that data about health. And this will lead us to select vulnerable districts of the city. So we would like to work where there are vulnerabilities in terms of health and light exposure. Our pilot cities are Bologna in Italy, Amsterdam in the north of Europe, in the and Tartu in Estonia. So as you can see from the map, they are at very different latitude, because of course, if we talk about artificial light, we have also to take into account natural lighting, because then the exposure of light at night varies a lot according to the length of the daylight. And we will also develop a 3D model to build a sort of decision support system, so to show how the different intervention can affect lighting, public lighting in the 3 different cities. But we will also work a lot in our evidence building phase with citizens to co-create new innovative lighting interventions. So through the discussion with the citizens and with the local governments, we will select a smaller district among the one that we have seen being affected by vulnerabilities and high lighting exposure. And we will there discuss about how to implement innovative intervention in a small pilot city, in a small pilot area, and where we will then conduct research about effects of light on health and well-being. We will then develop a population-based study on older adults by recruiting 500 participants for each city. Half of them will be recruited inside this pilot area where we will change the public lighting system, and half of them will be outside the pilot area to act as a sort of control population. We will develop a baseline and a follow-up study. So we will recruit them, ask them to wear an actigraph and a sensor, lighting sensor for 2 weeks at the beginning of our study before implementing the changing of the public lighting. We will collect samples of saliva to check their circadian rhythm. We will ask them to fill surveys, and we will repeat the same analysis after 1 year of exposure to our new installation, so to see how the different lighting system that we are going to develop will change health and well-being in the selected population. We will, of course, also assess the cost effectiveness of the intervention. The final aim of our study is to develop lighting policies and guidelines to support the municipalities, the producers, the managers of lighting companies, and also the Commission to bring public policies and market to take into account health and well-being in decision on urban lighting. So to try really to improve urban health and reduce health disparities in cities by acting on lighting policies. So we will develop good practice guidelines for addressed to municipalities to help them in developing lighting master plans or smart city programs. We will develop a decision support system tailoring the guidelines to the different local situations. And we will also work on policy briefs to support all the different domains of policy and industry in the direction of taking into account health and well-being impacts coming from artificial light. Just to conclude my very short presentation, I would bring to your attention this international conference that we are organizing in the framework of the project. It will be online the 16 and 17 of December. And there will be the possibility to participate for free, but also to submit extended abstracts. So you are welcome to participate, to join us, discussing how light can shape healthy cities and can influence our well-being in cities. This is all from my side, and I'm open to your questions.
Thank you, Simona. Thank you very much for your presentation of the project and that will have outcomes in coming years about the health and light exposure links. And indeed, common operational language is very needed, not only from country to country, but between different stakeholders that are involved in the debate. And thank you also for sharing the conference and call for abstracts to our attendees.